Okay, so we look here at the before and after, so to speak. So the left-hand one now is your before. We discussed, obviously, your shoulder there kind of being quite a long way forward, almost on your left foot, and then your right shoulder now kind of inside your right foot, okay? And the hands are quite a long way kind of preset forward, okay? Yeah. Now, as much you may feel you made quite a bit of adjustment. You haven't moved that much, but you certainly moved enough to get your shoulders a bit more kind of, and you're a little bit more kind of onto that right side. There's a bit more spine to there. If you're just looking generally there, you look a little bit more straight onto the camera. I would say your chest is kind of facing more there, whereas this one kind of looks like you're facing your chest a bit more, which is a sign you're kind of high right side, sort of, leaning on that left side. So, and because of that, your ability then to even move this hip is gone. Okay, so as you go back now in the takeaway, you can only really go back to that far.
And I knew that in my mind.
Exactly. But the thing is, if you try to go further, that's kind of almost your 100% movement. You can't go any further than that, okay? So if you try to go further, your spine will have to kind of lean in that direction. Well, that's no good. This arm will have to start bending. Not really when we're trying to create a hinge in your wrist there, okay? Or you just start tilting your body, or you more leg movement, which again, neither is going to be an ideal kind of movement, okay? You compare that now where your right hip on the right-hand side now starts turning back. You can see your right hip too. There's your back swing there, you see, Now in time that could go back. I think once you start getting comfortable, we think we probably moved that club from roughly where it was there to there. So that degree increase now of 15 degrees or so, in time will be a little more. Your shoulders...
That's 120 yards, isn't
potentially, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if we can start getting a bit more kind of increase of shoulder turn, and it's more of a confidence thing. The arms now starting to move a little bit more kind of up this way, not just stopping it sort of chest tight there. But that, I think, if we can sort of just gradually move that round, if we said, okay, right, that's where you were swinging, okay, and then suddenly went from there to up there, you missed the ball.
Not bad in half an hour, is
exactly.
it?
You'd miss the ball if you're going that far. So we want to try and go from where that yellow line is there now to where we've gone today, and then next time, and then next time kind of up there, and then next time sort of, and gradually move it around bit by bit. So you kind of what we end up doing, we move kind of your comfort zone with it, okay? But you sort of just stay like one step ahead of that kind of thing. So we're sort of just pushing you a little bit more. I think the looser in the grip we have, that will certainly help.
That really helps,
It just takes the tension out of your arms. If your arms are locked, the whole shoulders, your chest, your body can't move. With the setup that you had, you couldn't really rotate effectively anyway. So with the setup being restrictive, your arms being very locked and tight, the head down mentality, this left hand swing here now was basically the 100% of what you could actually get. So you were kind of making a full swing, but you knew it was short of where you see maybe some of your guys play golf with sort of the clubs up here somewhere, or somewhere in that kind of round. But you think, well, I can't go any further. If you did go further, the way you would have to get that club to go from up here down to there, you just have another fault in your swing that you have to. And then, of course, then you're going to miss the golf ball. And then you go, well, what's the point of hitting a longer, fuller swing and duffing it halfway? I might as well go, okay, I'll make a good contact from here, which you were. Get 110, 120 yards. Rather maybe the 130ish, 135 yards that we show we're getting towards now, okay? So by having that better setup, I mean, in time again, we have a little bit more movement back here with this top half, just a smidge, and don't have your hands quite so far. I'd probably want to see the hands sort of a bit more, just a little bit more neutral, not too much, okay? It's going to sort of go with your left. If the left shoulder kind of moves back a little bit, it will kind of move back just slightly itself. Now again, one thing I definitely don't want to see is sort of you moving too far, this one, the shaft now being kind of back here, so we've got to be mindful of that over exaggeration and make it too much.
You still need to have it in that.
Exactly. Generally, for what I would look for, is I sort of the phrase that the hands and the head want to bookend the golf ball. Okay, so if I put this sort of line down here now, your head, as you can see, is behind the hands, which you would expect, but both those lines now are kind of this side of the golf ball. What I would want to see is the blue line to be this side of the golf ball and the green line to stay that side, okay? If you move both too much and your hands and your head get too far this side of the golf ball, it's no good at all, obviously. So there's always what I call the Goldilocks effect, too hot, too cold bar in the middle. You can go too far forward, too far back, too far everywhere in the game of golf. There's sort of a parameter you can go one way or tell them we've got to find that middle kind of middle ground, okay? So if we can be that just a smidgen, but at the moment it's not too bad to say. And then once you get in that better position there, Leith, you're able to rotate your body now and make a bigger backswing, I think, with a bit more confidence, should we say, and making some swings. You'll start swinging back further. Once the arms soften up a little bit more, this left shoulder now will get a bit less tension in it. This left arm, rather than being kind of here, will now start moving a bit higher and just get higher and higher and higher and higher. And you'll start being able to create a longer swing without forcing it for starters,
Yeah,
without trying
yeah.
to put too much effort into shots. It should be a lot
Yeah.
easier to do
Yeah,
that.
it's just keeping accuracy, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing, yeah. I mean, you're someone who's always going to rely on kind of the direction of the golf ball, very straight hitter, keep it in play, good short game, and you've shown with that you can still score reasonably well. 3 pars, 5 bogeys, and a non-bogey, should we say?
Yeah, that's right.
Another. It's good scoring.
In winter conditions, I thought.
That's very impressive. There's a lot of good golfers who would take that this time of year.
I wasn't sure. Again, I'm just trying to.
If you 3 pars and 5 bogeys over 9 holes.
Yeah.
And if we just say the one you did have a bit of a mare on was, we'll say it's a 7 on a par 4, so it's 3 over par.
Yeah, that's right,
you played then 9 holes in 7 over, so 8 over, which is playing to like a sort of just under an 18 handicap.
Yeah, and that's what I was working out around 18, 20 handicap.
Winter golf, brilliant. And that's why you're beating the guys 14 times out of 18
Yeah,
because you're playing just under 18.
Yeah.
If they're playing you 218, then you're beating them, aren't you? So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, but we can just increase a little bit more yardage. What you'll probably find now is in the winter, you probably won't see the ball going much further, maybe a few yards more, but not noticeably enough, because the balls are going plug anyway. And as you start progressing this swing going back a little bit further, come March, April, May next year, when your swings just continues to keep, you'll suddenly get in this dry condition. No, I mean like a 7-iron to the first and the back, not 5-iron or 4, whatever it may be. You'll be in a lot shorter club.
Actually, these clubs, I think
the newer clubs will help definitely. Yeah,
I think I've had to reduce one club down anyway.
And I think by March or April next year, it might be one more again, which will take another bit of kind of like readjusting
It's interesting because the guys who I play with are always playing one lower than me still.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
it's funny, but I'm still beating them. But
it doesn't matter. It just shows exactly. It's not how far it is; it's how well you hit the golf ball. Okay,
and I do play the boring game sometimes. So if I am by a tree, they'll try and
fit it through a small
gap or. You know,
they just missed a 30-yard wide fairway by 20 yards, and now they're going for a 6-inch gap 20 yards away.
That's literally what I'll do. I'll go diagonal and then straight.
Boring golf wins the many most times. Unfortunately, as depressing as it may sound, the boring golf tends to win. Okay, but that kind of makes sense there with the setup. So kind of things to work on now. As I say, just that sequence. Try and learn to build up that sequence now with kind of feet together and going through that. But in time, you're going to get there into that better position, and then from there, just a bigger turn. Be able to rotate more now, Lathan, get a fuller swing all the way back and all the way through. So good movement. Okay, mate. Right, good stuff.